Okay, so tonight's lesson is 6 multiplicative comparison problems. We looked at this a bit today in class and last night in your video, but we're going to focus just a little bit on multiplicative and ignore additive for a minute. So, in a multiplicative problem, you're always going to see or use some phrase that's something like 6 times as many, or 1/4 of. Those are phrases that indicate that you are comparing in a multiplicative way. I'm going to try something. Ooh, it worked. Yay. Okay, so I drew for you a comparison diagram, a multiplicative comparison bar, that shows a sample class, let's say, that is made up of a combination of girls and boys, okay? And using this diagram, I can make a comparison. I can see that there are 4 times as many girls as there are boys. So I can see that B times 4 equals G. Because if I were to have 4 boys, it would be equal to the number of girls. I don't have the 4 boy boxes, so I need to get rid of them now. Let's see. There we go. So that's a comparison I have there. Now, if I were to be told that there are 4 times as many girls as there are boys, and there are, let's say, 5 boys, I could figure out how many girls there are, because I could do 5 times 4 equals the number of girls, which is 20. I could also then figure out how many total kids are in the class, right? Because if I figure out how many girls there are, if this is 5, then this must also be 5, because all those rectangles are equal. Then I would have a total of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 kids, because I would have boys plus girls equals, we'll say, total. And we found that there are 5 boys, there are 20 girls, and that's a total of 25 students. Ooh. That's a really bad bit of writing there. That says students. I could also compare other things. It's not just numbers of kids. Actually, let me go back. There's one more thing I wanted to do on that page. I could resize at any point. If I wanted to adjust this problem, say, it's not going to do it. If I wanted to adjust this problem, I wish there was a faster way to do that. Let's say I wanted to resize. I could change any either or both of my factors. Remember, these are my factors. If I change either or both of my factors, that will impact my product. So if I increase my factors, that will naturally increase my product. So let's say I changed this to 7. That would change all of these to 7. Remember, because they're equal groups, that's why we know we're multiplying. And that would increase my product. So instead of being 5 times 4, it would be 7 times 4, which would be 28. So by increasing my factors, either one or both of them, I will also increase my product. That property is called resizing or scaling. Okay? Now let's move on to the next one. So let's say Seth has $5. Nina has 3 times as much. So I'm going to draw that. I'm going to draw Seth and Nina. Seth has $5. Nina has 3 times that much. Now, I could ask a couple different questions here. I could ask, perhaps, excuse me, I could ask maybe, how much does Nina have? I could also ask, how much do they have combined? That would be a two-part problem. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want to write right there. Ugh. So if I wanted to figure out how much Nina has, I know that Seth has $5 and Nina has 3 times as much. So that would be Seth times 3 equals Nina, or 5 times 3 equals $15. If I wanted to know how much money they had together, then I would add Seth's money plus Nina's money, which would be $20. Again, I could scale or resize by changing one of the products. I'm sorry, one of the factors, excuse me. On this slide, I resized by increasing my factors. I could also resize by decreasing. So if I said that Seth only had $2, for example, how would that change my product? Since before, if I increased my factor, it increased my product. Now I've decreased a factor. So naturally, that will also decrease the product. It just doesn't want me to write. There we go. So, because if I changed this to 2, Nina would still have 3 times as much. So Nina would only have 6 instead of 15, because she would have 3 times 2. So that would decrease my product. So tomorrow in class we'll practice just these basic multiplicative problems, and then we'll also look at resizing and scaling, which is really the same thing, and those types of problems as well. So I will see you then.